Hey everyone, can you guys hear me okay? Welcome to your Robbins Regional Wrap, your one-stop shop for all your Houston County news. I'm Megan Western. Each week we're taking you through what's happening in Houston County, Warner Robins, Robins Air Force Base, and your very own neighborhood. And this week, a Montezuma man accused of killing 4 people, including a 2-year-old girl and an 82-year-old woman, pleaded not guilty. Michael James Jordan was arraigned in Houston County on Wednesday, his first court appearance since being indicted this summer. Investigators say the mass murder happened back in April at a Perry trailer park. You may remember this after seeing this video from that time. 3 victims were stabbed and the attacker suffocated the toddler. Jordan faces 4 counts, each of malice and felony murder, along with child cruelty and elder exploitation. So far, there is no trial date set just yet. And this week, we heard from 3 Warner Robins firefighters recognized by city leaders for their heroic actions during a dangerous house fire. Back in August, Lieutenant Travis Keene, firefighter Terrence Weidman, and engineer Jose Torres risked their lives to save 2 people trapped inside a burning home. Jasmine Lee shares their story.
For firefighters, every day comes with one rule: be ready. And that's exactly what Lieutenant Travis Keene, firefighter Terrence Weidman, and engineer Jose Torres did on a hot August night in Warner Robins. The 3 rushed into a fire to save a disabled woman and her child.
The main thing was we salvaged her life.
Main goal was to get her out and as quickly and safely as possible.
As a driver, my priority was to, on a regular fire call, was to us have water.
3 brave men, each playing a crucial role. Keene led the search inside, pushing through heat and smoke, while Weidman assisted every step of the way and stayed with the bedridden woman until she was safe. Torres held hoses ready outside, helping with care as soon as she was out.
At the point when she was removed from the house, there was still a lot of work to get done. So we stayed with the patient until we could able to turn her over to EMS care. And
the night was intense, but training and teamwork took over. Every move calculated, every second counted, and the focus remained on one thing: keeping the family safe.
Fire calls are a very small percentage of our department's calls, but when we know there's structure fire as a victim, have to prioritize going in, and ultimately our goal is our life safety.
We always prioritize life over limb, so we just tried our best and did what we could to get her out at that moment.
A reminder that when Warner Robins firefighters say be ready, they mean it. Reporting in Warner Robins, Jasmine Lee, 13 WMAZ News.
Warner Robins City Council awarded the men for their bravery at this week's council meeting. The fire department says the cause of the fire was undetermined, but they do know that it started in the kitchen. They say the house was not destroyed, but it did have extensive damage. The recognition for those 3 first responders comes during a big year for the Warner Robins Fire Department. Just months ago, they announced that they reached full staffing for the first time in years. With 141 active firefighters, leaders told us they can respond faster and offer better service to the entire community. Now, speaking of staffing, this week leaders swore in 4 new police officers, and that's part of a push to rebuild the force after years of shortages. Jasmine Lee spoke with Police Chief Wayne Fisher about what these new badges mean for the entire community.
City leaders say tonight's ceremony is another step in strengthening the force, and they expect these new officers to help ease pressure on patrol shifts.
Congratulations.
4 new officers stepped into the Warner Robins force tonight, bringing energy, fresh faces, and hope to a department still climbing out of a shortage. It's a celebration, but the work isn't done yet.
The vacancies that we have to fill for hire at this point in time are 15.
Those 15 vacancies cover patrol officers, detectives, and 1 booking officer. For Chief Wayne Fisher, this is just one step in closing the gap. Back in 2022, Warner Robins was more than 40 officers short. Shifts were stretched, overtime spiked, and patrols felt the strain. And tonight's class won't erase that history, but it's a step forward.
We're constantly evolving and changing based off of technologies, which will drive the priority and need of staffing as we move forward.
That includes crime data systems. Cameras and digital evidence require more trained officers behind the scenes. It will take nearly a year before these officers hit the streets, but once they do, residents could see faster response times, more visible patrols, and deeper community engagement.
But you always want to make sure that you're hiring quality people. You just don't want to fill vacant spaces with not the highest of quality people.
Fisher says he isn't rushing to fill the gaps. He wants skilled officers who can stay long-term and not just a quick fix.
It's pretty significant in regards to we're constantly growing as far as the agency staffing and structure.
City leaders say they'll provide more staffing updates as more cadets move through training. Reporting in Warner Robins, Jasmine Lee, 13 WMAZ News.
Now, Chief Fisher says that the sworn-in officers still have about 10 months of training. He expects new specialty roles to develop as staffing improves. And Houston County is inching closer to a new senior center after a vote at Tuesday's commission meeting. Elizabeth Hunter was at that meeting and has the details.
Exciting. Very exciting.
The Warner Robins Senior Center is getting an upgrade.
The kids call me and say, Mom, are you home?
For Betty Hurd and Sandy Christman, the Senior Center is their home away from home.
There's so many things to do with so many different groups of people. It's great. It really is.
Christman says a new center would allow more activities and more room for people to join, which keeps seniors healthy.
The more activity that you do, the more active you are, the better it is. You can't just sit in a recliner and watch TV all day.
Houston County Chairman Dan Perdue says the Senior Center's impact is a big reason why they're partnering with the city of Warner Robins to make a new center a reality.
Happy to help the city with this and help move the ball forward on the possibility of a different senior center.
Perdue says they are partnering with Warner Robins to apply for a grant to pay for the center.
We're almost like the fiscal agent in this process, helping this process to happen and move along.
At Tuesday's meeting, county commissioners voted to hire an architect to study several buildings that could be converted into a senior center. Perdue says hiring the architect is the first step toward applying for the grant.
Part of this process was to hire an architect that can evaluate that building and other properties that we may look at to see if they're suitable.
Perdue says they do not have a building or cost narrowed down yet. He says they are still early on in this process and their timeline is based on the grant. In Houston County, Elizabeth Hunter, 13 WMAZ News.
Now, the current senior center is off Maple Street, which is over in Warner Robins. Perdue says the new center will be in a more centralized location so that all the county seniors can use it. Now, we also learned that the Houston County NAACP claims that discrimination led to the city of Perry initially banning a Perry alumni group and its organizer from using city spaces. Elizabeth Hunter has more details, including reaction from the city.
I think it was a discrimination thing.
The Houston County NAACP blames tensions over a recent Perry High alumni event at Heritage Oaks Park on racial discrimination.
My job as NAACP is to stand up for them, to fight for them, and to make sure that this never happens to anyone else that comes along and wants to use the parks.
The tailgate-style event was held on November 1st. City officials say they later found large amounts of trash and that vehicles parked all over the lawn damaged landscaping and underground irrigation lines. The city initially decided to ban the organizer, Kerensky Wilkerson, and the alumni group from holding events at city spaces. A decision NAACP President Jonathan Johnson says was made despite Wilkerson paying the required deposit and damage fee.
You should not have banned him from the parks. I mean, he was the one that's paying the money. He was the one that's asking for permission. He's the one that filled out the paperwork. He's the one that did everything right.
The city reversed the decision to ban the group and Wilkerson last Monday, according to a city statement. The statement said, in part, the city treats all facility renters consistently and in accordance with the same established policies and procedures. Following the meeting, the city manager provided an email summary to the group outlining the agreements reached. A representative of the Perry High Alumni Group replied with a positive acknowledgement and raised no additional concerns. But Johnson says the city made a mistake in banning Wilkerson in the first place and won't admit that. In Perry, Elizabeth Hunter, 13 WMAZ News.
Now, we asked Johnson for other examples of groups that were treated differently, but he couldn't cite any. And many of you took advantage of the holiday deals over the weekend. Of course, ahead of Black Friday, Perry shops were gearing up for Small Business Saturday. Elizabeth Hunter talked with some of the store owners about how they prepared.
It's really fun to be a part of.
It's a town tradition people wait all year for.
I do remember going out with my mom and my sister and being a part of those events and making memories.
Tabitha Arzola opened her downtown boutique, The Bold Kind, in March. She says she has been preparing for Small Business Saturday for weeks.
We've got some bins, $15, $5 bins, as well as just a lot more inventory. I wanted to make sure that I had enough stuff for everybody.
Arzola says as a new owner, she's excited to see what this event does for the community and her business.
It means a lot to me that they put an emphasis on the small businesses and how that does provide for the community, and I think the community does always show up.
This is Perry's 5th year hosting the event. Joy Caldwell has owned her store Initial Reaction for 15 years. She says the turnout gets bigger each year.
There's been an absolute growth. We see so many people. There's just not a way to say how many people, but it's a lot of people.
Caldwell says events like this are so important to keep local businesses thriving.
It makes a bigger difference than anybody knows. So if you are shopping local, you're not only helping the store owner, but we also are paying our employees.
Caldwell says every dollar spent locally benefits the entire community. Forbes magazine agrees, saying 68% of each dollar spent at local businesses remains in that community. In Perry, Elizabeth Hunter, 13 WMAZ News.
Now, a Houston County family is sharing their daughter's story of her battle with cancer and how the community helped them when they needed it most. Elizabeth Hunter has more on that story that brings us straight from the heart.
The day we got the news was one of the hardest days of our lives.
A diagnosis that turns a family's world upside down.
We didn't know what to think of it. It didn't make sense to us.
At 3 years old, Delaney Dykes was diagnosed with a brain tumor.
The night we got the news, we were called by their chief neurosurgeon up in Atlanta, and they wanted us there as soon as possible.
After Thanksgiving in 2022, Delaney's parents, Clay and Jennifer Dykes, noticed some issues with her eyesight. They scheduled a brain MRI. That decision saved her life.
I think the Lord guided us on it. We're in the best possible place we can be because of that decision.
Her parents say, just like Delaney, her tumor was one of a kind.
The rareness of it was less than 1% of all pediatric tumors that were diagnosed, but also it was the first time it was diagnosed at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta.
2 brain surgeries, 2 eye surgeries, and 13 months of chemotherapy later, Delaney beat the odds.
We had a slogan throughout of it called Small But Mighty, and She was all of that the whole time.
Jennifer says they stayed strong because of the support they got from the community. Joe Posey organizes the Mary Elizabeth Golf Tournament, which raises money for childhood cancer. For 2 years, he donated to help the Dykes family get through Delaney's treatments.
He came and hand-delivered a donation to our family, and he met Delaney, wanted to talk about our story, and really showed us so much kindness.
Jennifer says it made all the difference knowing they weren't facing the battle alone. In Elko, Elizabeth Hunter, 13 WMAZ News.
Now, the Mary Elizabeth Golf Tournament raised over $100,000 this year. It has raised $1 million since it started back in 2015. Posey says the money goes to local families in need, St. Jude's Children's Hospital, and the Cure Childhood Cancer Organization. He does the tournament every year in honor of his 12-year-old granddaughter, Mary Elizabeth, who passed away from cancer in 2015. And with just a few weeks left until Christmas, Santa isn't the only one checking lists this year. The Salvation Army's Angel Tree program is in full swing, and one business in Warner Robins stepped up to make sure that every wish list gets checked off. Elizabeth Hunter shares the details.
You know the sound.
Merry Christmas.
The Salvation Army is working hard to make sure Christmas is merry for everyone. 1,100 kids across Central Georgia needed some Christmas magic.
That number is a big number.
One Warner Robins business stepped up to help out in a big way.
I just always like to give back during Christmas, and kids is a great way to do that.
Over the last 3 years, Jamie Mormon Real Estate has adopted over 150 angels. This year, they adopted 50. Mormon says it's one of her favorite parts of the holiday season.
And knowing that they're going to have a good Christmas, and then also knowing that their family does not have like a financial strain.
Paula Blevins, a Salvation Army captain, says all 325 children in Houston County have been provided for, but they still need some help in Macon.
I believe that in Macon, we still have probably a dozen angels.
Blevins says Angel Tree gifts are due on December 11th, so she hopes someone will adopt the remaining Macon kids this weekend. Having only a dozen kids in Central Georgia that still need help, she says, shows just how generous the community is.
Everyone is really getting into the Christmas spirit, and it's great to see everyone coming together to contribute.
In Houston County, Elizabeth Hunter, 13 WMAZ News.
Now, if you're interested in adopting an angel, the remaining kids lists are set up at the shops at River Crossing in Macon. And of course, Warner Robins is counting down to its annual Christmas parade over the weekend. If you drive down Watson Boulevard right now, you're going to notice some festive decorations starting to light up the street, giving a sneak peek of the celebrations ahead. Businesses and organizations are busy prepping, and Carmen Brown went out to see what's happening behind the scenes and what folks are most excited about this year.
Up and down Watson Boulevard, holiday decorations are starting to appear, setting the stage for Saturday's We Believe Christmas Parade, inspired by the Polar Express and the magic of the season. Kathleen nonprofit Haunt for a Cause, known for their haunted events and fundraising efforts, has been preparing 2 floats and coordinating with dozens of volunteers. Founder Joe Lyric says they've spent the last couple of weeks perfecting their designs. This marks their 3rd year participating.
The impact from an organization perspective, but on a personal perspective, like even the people who are coming here to participate, the impact that we have on their lives, they feel part of something, right? And that's important. And spreading that out into the community is what's important to us. So.
Meanwhile, in Warner Robins,
Gotta have a Santa somewhere.
Discount Costumes and Comics will have a front row seat to the parade. The store sits right along Watson Boulevard. While the owner, Jerry Bradley, says his business isn't participating with a float, they've been busy selling costumes to parade goers.
20% off on all our holiday wear and accessories, and that's pretty much it. Just gonna be here and ready.
In the catches, the mascot Grinch costumes sell out fast every year.
It's always popular, but that and primarily elves, and sometimes Mrs. Santa. Santa's usually covered, for the parade.
Lyric says they want this year to be even memorable than the last. In Warner Robins, Carmen Brown, 13 WMAZ News.
Of course, remember that the parade is going to close down some roads over in Warner Robins on the day of the parade, which is tomorrow, December the 6th. Watson Boulevard from Davis Drive to Corder Road is going to be closed starting at 9:30 in the morning. Meanwhile, Davis Drive will close from MLK Boulevard to Watson Boulevard at 9 in the morning. You could experience delays as early as 7:30 as crews start to set up. Now, people who live in these neighborhoods that you're seeing on your screen will also be impacted. These roads will close starting at 9 and reopen after the parade rolls past, so make sure that you plan accordingly. And if you can't make it to the parade, you can watch the live stream right here on 13 WMAZ Plus at 10 a.m. Keep in mind, because of the heavy rain chances, there is a chance that the parade in Warner Robins, the parade in Centerville, and the parade in Perry will all be closed. We'll continue to update you on 13WMAZ.com as we learn more. And in case you missed it, over the weekend, dog lovers packed the Georgia National Fairgrounds as the Kennesaw Kennel Club held its all-breed show. Dozens of furry friends hit the ring. Organizers say the event always draws a crowd ready to see who will lead the pack. The club's 11th annual owner-handled sweepstakes returned, giving handlers a chance to show off their top dogs. Santa also made a stop for photos, helping raise funds for Take the Lead, which is a group that supports members of the dog show community facing serious illness.
They're young people that are learning to show their dogs and working on perfecting showing their dogs. So you'll have all kinds of different breeds in junior showmanship. And they're just some of them will go on and become professional handlers, that they do this for a living.
Alrighty, before we let you go, here's a look at what's happening across the Robins region. If you're looking for some holiday family time with Old St. Nick, go ahead and mark your calendar for Friday, December the 19th. From 1 to 5, you can take pictures with Santa over at Ted Wright Park. They'll have hot cocoa, cookies, and fun holiday activities for your kids too, so it's sure to be a good time. You can also take a ride through time with the 2025 Holiday History Trolley Tours in downtown Perry. From Tuesday, December the 9th through Thursday, December the 11th, you can experience festive lights, explore historic landmarks, and hear the incredible stories that shape the community. Tickets are $10. Find the ticket link on the Visit Perry website. And if you're looking for a more traditional celebration, you can also check out the live nativity presentation at Oakland Baptist Church. It's happening Friday, December the 12th through Sunday, December the 14th. That information on your screen right here for you. Each night it'll start at 7 p.m. It is free to attend, and you can also enjoy complimentary hot chocolate and coffee. And if you want your furry friends to meet Santa, you have several upcoming options. Sunday the 7th, you can take your pets to the Warner Robins Animal Control Center on Stalnaker Avenue from noon until 1, or take them to this PetSmart on Watson Boulevard on Saturday, December the 13th. Stop by from 2 until 5. Photos are free. That's a wrap on all the things that are happening throughout the Robins region. If you have a Houston County story you want to share with us, you can email us at news@13wmaz.com. Make sure you keep coming back each week to get all of your Houston County news and the stories that matter to you. Thanks for joining us.